Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Halloween inspired makeup tutorial using all Senegence cosmetics. If you're new to my channel, Senegence is a cosmetic and skincare company from the US of A. All of our ingredients are sourced from Vanuatu, and the best thing about Senegence is that all of our cosmetics are smudge proof, waterproof, budge proof, kiss proof. You apply them in the morning, you don't have to retouch, and you're good to go all day long. Absolutely love it. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is priming my skin using our Makesense Silk. I am going to be voicing over this video, that way I can concentrate on the look that I'm creating and talk you through step by step what I'm doing.
Okay, so starting off with our white base, I used a concoction of our Makesense foundation in the shade Ivory, a colour correcting concealer in the shade White, and a little bit of our Shadowsense in the colour Snow. And I'm just blending that over my face, ears, neck and chest area using a Real Techniques Miracle Complexion sponge. Once I'm happy with the coverage and the amount that's on my body, I'm going to let that dry and set in place. Okay, so moving on to eyes, and I'm going to be using Shadowsense in the shade Garnet, and I'm going to be placing this directly on my lower lash line and blending it out using a Morphe M139 brush. And I'm going to be blending this colour all over the entire lid area. Once it's all blended in, I'm going to go back in with that Garnet, and I'm going to deepen up the lower lash line and really smoke it out with a second layer just to deepen and richen that colour. Next I'm going to go in with the shade Moca Java, which is a very cool toned brown. I'm going to be taking that on the same exact Morphe M139 brush, and I'm going to be starting to buff out the edges using this colour. I'm also going to be dragging this colour down around the lower lash line and around the entire eye socket. This is going to start to hollow out the eyes and really give the face more of a deadly look. Next up is Shadowsense in the shade Ebony Essence. This is more of a blue toned grey, just using the same Morphe brush, and we're just going to be following the same procedure that we used the Moca Java and just hollowing out the eye socket even further. So now we're just going back in with Moca Java and we're just placing that straight over the top. We're just going to be pulling the brown back into the look as we lost a little bit of the cool brown undertones when we placed the Ebony Essence over the top. Okay, so now we're going in with the brows. I'm going to be mixing two shades here. I'm going to be mixing Ebony Essence and Smoked Topaz. And then I also actually popped in a little bit of Onyx just to deepen it up. And I'm going to start to fill in my brows using these colours. For my brows, I'm going to be filling them in quite thick, a lot thicker than I would usually fill them in. This is going to give more of a wild, ruly kind of look to the whole outcome. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going back in with that Garnet Shadowsense, and I'm just going to be deepening up that outer corner just to give a bit more depth into that eye socket. Now for a little bit of glitz and glamour, I'm going in with Silver Shimmer Shadowsense, and I'm just using a flat shade brush and I'm just packing this all over the lid area. I'm going to go in with a second layer closer to my lash line just to build it up in that area, and because these are cream shadows, I'm just going to let it air and dry off and completely set before I go and open my eye, otherwise it will transfer to the top of my lid if I don't let it dry properly. Then I'm just going to be going in with the same Morphe 139 brush with a little bit of Moca Java on it, and I'm just going to be blending out the edges of that silver shimmer, making sure that everything is seamless and beautiful. Just because we're doing a Halloween look doesn't mean that our blending can't be perfect. Then I'm going to be going in with Onyx Shadowsense on a Morphe 160 1/4 liner brush, and I'm just going to be lining my top lash line. I kind of stamp it on there only because I find that easier than actually drawing a straight line across my eye. I find it's easier to get a better line, and then I can just kind of go over it and get it perfect. what's a look without some lashes? And these are just some cheap ones that I got from Kmart. I'm pretty sure they were like $5 or so. And then I'm just taking that Onyx on the same Morphe angled liner brush, and I'm just going to be lining my bottom lash line and smoking it out. So I'm just going to be cleaning my lips, ready for Lipsense. We all know that your lips need to be clean and dry before we go in. Just removing any foundation and making sure they're dry. And I'm going to be going in with our Blackberry Lipsense. This is an extremely dark purple lipstick. It comes off almost like a black. You're going to want to make sure that you're wiping all the excess off your Lipsense before you're going to go in. We're going to make sure that our layers are thin. That way we're going to get the best application of Lipsense. So if you are new to Lipsense, you put it on in 3 thin layers. We go in one direction. I usually go from the inner corners and then between each layer of Lipsense, you want to allow your product to dry. Usually between 5 to 10 seconds is plenty of time. With some of the more pigmented and thicker colors, you want to allow a little bit more time, maybe 10 to 20 seconds for the pigment to dry before you start your next layer. Using thin layers and allowing them to dry in between will ensure that your Lipsense will last all day long. Now that my layers are finished, I'm going in with a matte gloss to seal it off, and so that my Lipsense is completely smudge proof and won't transfer at all. Okay, so now we're up to making this lash in the middle of my face. For this I'm just using Shadowsense in the shade Onyx, and I mapped it out using that little Morphe liner brush that I use. So when I'm actually filling in the lash, I change between quite a fair few brushes. It all depends on what suits you. I mix between my liner brush, a flat shader brush, and then I also mix between using the wand itself. For the teeth, I mix between using my Morphe liner brush as well as a tiny liner brush that I got from the Wish app. I started off by mapping out where I wanted the teeth to be with the brush, and then I go in with the wand directly and start deepening up the colours and really blending it all together. I also go back in with the Blackberry Lipsense, and I just blotch that through the lash as well and blend that through, and I'm going to top it back off with that matte gloss. Okay, so next I'm going to be hollowing out the neck and the chest area, and I'm going to be using a mixture of Smoked Topaz, Ebony Essence and Moca Java to really hollow out my collarbones and my neck. And I'm blending it all out using a Real Techniques contour brush. Okay, so next I'm taking some liquid blood, and I'm just going to be dropping that onto the corners of my eye, and then I'm going to be stippling it into the under eye socket using an e.l.f. blending brush. This is going to give more of a bruised look to the eye socket and really make the hollows stand out and come to life. Now we're taking the liquid blood on the same e.l.f. blending brush, and we're just going to be blending it into the hollows of the neck and the collarbone that we created before. This is going to give more of a bruised-like effect and make it look a lot more dead and ghastly looking. And then last but not least, we're taking the liquid blood and I'm going to be dripping it down my neck like a huge gash that has just been ripped open. You can be as creative with this as you like, or as conservative. It is completely up to you. And that is the finished look. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and hit that big subscribe button down below, and make sure you see me in my next video. Thanks guys.